Can you please introduce yourself to my friends?
Hello, friends. My name is Theo. So I tell them my age.
If your wife will be happy, we don't mind.
I'm the youngest of eight siblings.
Okay. Hey. You are the youngest.
Yeah.
What time? Oh, I'm not even going to pennies here. You started with the lie. You know this is coming in though. I'm not going to take this out.
I don't know why.
You don't know that
the people are.
That's why your video.
Yeah. But if my siblings are not here, I have the right position myself
anywhere,
wherever.
center, middle,
That's
anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Phil, what does love?
No, Mr. Hayford.
Mr. Hayford, I'm sorry.
Theo
Mr. Afezi.
Hayford.
This video, Papa will not finish.
Yeah.
So, what does love mean to you in 3 words?
Decision. Love is a decision.
Okay.
Love is. I know a verse in the Bible that talks about love.
Love is kind.
It is kind.
Patient.
It is patient. It does not keep record of wrongs.
That one.
You know.
Please repeat it for me.
It doesn't keep record of wrongs. It is not self-centered.
So those people, there are people, yeah. When you wrong them, they keep the date, the time, the second, the exact words you said. So if you're gonna love, you're gonna have to forgive.
That's why I said that love is a decision.
It's a decision.
I said it's a decision because just take someone that you feel the person is in code, like the person is ugly. Do you understand? As a human being, you'll be tempted not to like the person. But if you love that person, irrespective of the looks, irrespective of whatever
it's a decision.
It's a decision. You decide to do it.
I'm going with this person,
yeah.
And that is it.
Yeah.
So if love is a decision, and you choose to be with this one particular person, then where does cheating come in? Because you've decided I love this person, and then now you're saying, oh, when I married you, you were slim. Now you're big. That's why I'm chasing other girls.
That is not love. That has a feeling. There is an element of feeling in it. So if you go into a relationship with feeling,
it fades.
It fades. Yeah. Time comes, that feeling may not be there.
Yeah, I agree.
If you had an attraction because of, I mean, these days we've got what we say is breast and thighs. You know, so you went into the relationship because of the shape of the person, the breast. You know, some of the breast is pumped. You know.
Yeah, he knows things on this brother.
So
he knows things.
If you went in and now, don't be deceived because
artificial ones.
At times.
Please use the back if you want to.
Yeah. So because of this thing, if you went into it with that, then you are not actually loving. Do you understand? Well, love is purely decision. If you went in for any other thing apart from decision, then it means that when you fit, you make up your mind differently.
As a married man,
yeah.
What does respect mean to you?
Respect is basically trying to, yield. Do you understand? It may not be your own.
Please don't use King James English.
No, I'm not using.
We want NLT.
Yeah, but you make that decision to yield to what the other person is telling you, not for any other reason, but to.
So if you say that Mrs. Hayford respects you, what does that mean?
Yeah, yielding.
It means what? She gives in easily?
No, she doesn't give in easily, but she accepts my opinion.
Okay.
And this
tolerant.
She tolerates it, she accepts it, and it's reciprocal. because I also make that decision to respect it if it needs to be. Yeah.
I know I've done a video with you before.
Yeah.
And you've talked about this, but I can't not skip it. So I want to ask you again.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like a massive argument or just a normal argument anyway in front of your kids before? Ever?
Not really.
No.
And we don't have massive argument. Do you understand? We may have differences, especially in opinions, or what I call the highlights.
During those differences?
No, it doesn't happen. It does. I mean,
I'm not talking about now. We want to learn. I have friends. I know people who are going through it a lot.
Yeah.
They don't know how to go about it because a lot of us grew up in broken homes, so we have no example to look up to.
Yeah.
And some of these people are struggling, so we're trying to help people out there.
Yeah.
They're like, if there's an argument, how do you go about it?
There's a saying that it takes two to tango.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So if you are in a relationship, definitely because the person is near to you, you are bound to step on his or her toes.
That's right.
You understand? When those situations arise, there should be a point where one must be prepared to to calm down for the situation to come.
Yeah.
You know, whoever makes that decision, I cannot say. But for me,
You decide to give in a lot.
I don't decide to give in a lot, but every time within that time, sort of affects any one of us. You know, so if you should keep it for weeks, either of us are going to suffer
Emotionally, mentally, psychologically.
You know, so if it's going to take 1 week for you to calm down, then why don't you do it the very first day?
Yeah.
If you can. Do you understand?
You know, there are couples, like when they argue, if you've ever met a man who can insult, like, my goodness, they will insult you and you feel like you wish they'd rather beat you. And that's even bad, you know. If you know anybody like that, what sort of advice would you give them? Like a man?
No. Don't.
Who insults the wife?
No.
And for women, I am a woman, so I can say this. If a man insults you like that, it disconnects you emotionally from them.
Yeah, I know.
What advice do you have for such men?
In the first place, I would say, may your arguments not come to that level where you rain insults on your wife. Listen, if you insult, it's casting insinuations, isn't it? So when you tell your wife, if you insult your wife, and then after whatever argument you have, you go back to the same wife, it's just like you have been insulting yourself. Do you understand? It's just like you've been insulting yourself. Tell your wife she's a fool, and then next time go on to your wife. So you are sleeping with a fool.
That makes you a fool as well.
That makes you a big fool, not
Thank
even
you.
a fool. So may it not come to that level where you will be insulting your wife.
Yeah.
Arguments, I don't even want to use argument. I know differences come. There's been times we've had differences, and in the bedroom everybody is looking at the opposite end.
Yeah.
You know, at times
Your body is touching.
the body is touching, and you are trying to, you want the body to touch, but at the same time you are behaving as if you don't want to let your guards down. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If you do it for 1 week, you are in arrears for 1 week.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
You never get it back.
That's the way I see it. And I've also heard that don't go to sleep with an argument.
Imagine you wake up and that person is dead.
Yeah, it's happened before. Do you understand? Because of the fact that they are not talking. The man was suffering. He could not call the wife.
Asthma or something, yeah.
Do you understand? So these things are lessons for us to learn. So don't go to bed with things like that. You know, and the Bible even says it that don't let the sun set on your anger.
There's something I want to ask you. You know, these days you hear a lot about cheating. A man cheating, you know, and it's like it looks like it's a man's word, and we're supposed to accept it as women, especially if you're from our part of the world where we come from. They expect you to like just take it as normal. Like if a man cheats, it's not a big deal. Like even if you go and tell your parents that your husband cheated, my God, my friend, go back to your home. You know, it's supposed to be normal, accepted. What do you think? I know you're a Christian and you're going to condemn it and everything, but bring it down to our level.
I'm just going to say it this way.
What was it for you that made you say that? Well, I don't know if you said that to yourself. It's me and my wife, and that's it. I'm not going to look at another woman.
No. Whoever says that is. Have a looking.
You look.
Even the pastors, they look.
Hey, please don't bring pastors.
Oh, no. I'm telling you for a fact.
Okay.
I've seen someone, a pastor who is looking proper and said that, hey, my brother, you the chop. Do you understand? Yeah, so everybody looks.
Okay.
Do you understand? Everybody looks.
Okay.
And these days, it's gone on to another level. That's why you are talking about cheating.
Yeah.
You know, it is hard. We are human beings. I'm not going to lie. It is hard. You know, and it's surprisingly, when you marry, that's when
it becomes even
hard.
Yeah.
I mean, a lady can tell you that I'm not after your ring. You know,
see what I want.
I know you have a wife. They tell you that I know you have a wife.
Really?
Yeah. So it's you I want. I'm not. So you are doing this interview as if you know is a kind of play, but it's a serious. It's a serious.
Yeah. I hear of issues.
Yeah.
I thought this is a medium to address it.
I mean, I'm a man. And all I can say that is
what's that one thing that's made you, if you've decided you're not cheating, that's if you have, what's that one thing for you that's made you say that, you know what, it's me and my wife, I'm not gonna
I don't know why I'm tempted to say something from the Bible. Do you understand?
No, say it.
I don't want to sound like a perfect man, but there's this thing that I you know when the devil tempted Jesus Christ, Jesus made a comment that man shall not live by bread alone.
Okay.
It's more or less like Jesus saying, I can live without bread. You know, I can live without bread. So for me, some of the things that I say to myself is I can live without it.
Without what?
Yeah, if it gets to a point like that.
Without what?
I can. When the advances.
I'm trying to gain clarity.
Yeah. When advances come my way.
Okay.
Some of the things I say in my head is that, this looks nice. It looks attractive.
But I can live
without it.
I love that.
Do you understand? I can live without it. And once I say that in my mind,
you're good.
I'm good.
That's it.
I'm good to go.
That's right.
The second point is, you see, some of the things that led to Adam and Eve sinning is the lust of the eye. We see things.
You see things.
We do.
All sorts of shapes and sizes. Different colors.
You know that everybody knows that his wife is nice. Do you understand? But when you go out there,
you see some and you're like, man,
you see things.
My goodness.
You know the tights that they wear these days. Yeah. We see it. But when we see it, we look.
But
do you understand?
Yeah.
But touching is forbidden. It's forbidden. So some of these things, if you know that it's nice and it's attractive, tell your wife. Well, I'm not the type, because if I buy the wrong thing, they will take it back. But tell your wife that you think this is nice.
This,
you think this is nice.
Yeah.
So you too wear some.
Yeah. So
You know.
wives, I know wives that their husbands will tell them, "I like this," and they'll say, "Oh, me, I don't want to. I'm not comfortable in it." And then you also meet people who will say, "I don't dress for my husband. I dress to feel good in myself."
Well, everybody handles their issue differently.
Yeah.
So when I tell my wife to wear something, I'm not saying wear it and take it out. Do you
It's for
understand?
me.
If I'm at home, we are home, and
It's
you
for
are also
viewing pleasure.
you are also wearing it. Why not? You know, Charlie, life is short, so
Yeah.
just enjoy it. That's
Yeah.
it. Enjoy the wife
Of your
youth. My brother spoke earlier
Yeah.
and talked about.
Yeah.
It's all in the mind. Just
Yeah,
enjoy
Mr.
it.
Ben Hayford.
Yeah.
In this interview,
So
is
a lot
his
of- a
brother.
lot-
Is he your younger brother or older brother?
older brother.
Wife is not happy. Why are you pushing my husband to the house?
He's the older brother. No, that's my younger brother.
Okay.
I mean, and also between the two of us, there's nothing like age. I don't really. Yeah.
It's because you're the older one. That's why. If you were younger, you would mind. But anyway, I want to ask you this one last thing.
Yeah.
You have a daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. As an African parent, at what age are you happy for your daughter, your only daughter, to bring a man home to say, "Daddy, this is my boyfriend"?
Well, now look at the world today. I would rather you bring
A boy.
a boy. You know, do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would rather you bring a boy.
But what
And
age?
and I mean, I don't think I have to put an age to it.
Okay.
It's all about you being matured.
Hey.
Do you understand? Being matured means that it gets to a point when you think these things you are also going to be able to handle it, because it comes with its own problems.
Okay.
If you bring a guy to the house and he say, "Don't tell me it's your boyfriend. Tell me
It's your friend."
this a guy you've seen and you are ready to." I'm not.
But it's the same. It means the same. You just don't want to hear it.
Well, anyway, you know what I mean. Well, now in this part of the
You
world.
have someone's daughter in your house. You went for someone's
Yeah,
daughter.
but I tell
So
you,
where is
I didn't go to tell them
This is your boyfriend.
the parent
That
that
was
this
in Ghana. This is abroad.
right. Sis, I mean,
It's hard.
I'm not the type, you know, when I'm sleeping in my bedroom and then my daughter is also sleeping with her supposed boyfriend. I don't buy that, to be honest. That's why I worry.
No, what
To play it,
Okay.
massa.
All right. But
This is
you
typical
still
African man.
haven't answered my question. Like, what age would you like? I want you to put it.
I can't put an age to it, because now I consider her as being of age.
And she's
Do you
21
understand?
or 22.
She's just turned 21.
Okay.
That's in
So
certain
now,
part.
if
In
she
certain
brings
part.
a boy home, Dad, this is the guy I'm dating. That's cool with you.
It's very cool.
Okay.
Very cool, but
Just that they cannot sleep in your house.
oh sister, where you are going?
It's too slippery.
Wow, yeah, listen. We are not that type. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I know
We're Christians.
now in certain homes it's all right, but homes are different,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
I mean, I wasn't brought up that way. Even the ones that the stealthy advantages that I was taking, Charlie, if they catch you, it's not going to be easy for you.
Yeah.
And then for me too, isn't it? Charlie, those times we have to walk on the street back, forth.
It's okay.
So why are you bringing the guy home? Okay, bringing the guy home is one. And then the guy
you
to
want
sleep
know
as well.
No, not the sleep bit, obviously. Hey, I say more. But you want to know who your child is seeing.
Yeah. I don't mind the child bringing the guy home, but the right thing must be done.
Yeah.
Do you understand? All this waffling, I'm only trying to say that the right thing
Must be done.
And I've told her anyway.
She knows.
Yeah. She knows that the right thing must be done at the right time.
What's the right thing?
When she's ready, Do you understand? When the guy comes and they are ready, Charlie, easy crowd.
Back, back, back.
Yeah.
Do you want to give shout outs to your missus, family, anybody?
Shout out, Mrs.
That's it. I thought you were romantic.
I am romantic.
Yeah.
I am romantic.
Yeah, do something.
Yeah. Hello, Matt. Charlie, easy crowd. Bless.
Okay.
Go on.
Do you want to introduce yourself to my friends?
My name is Edward Sechi. I live in Peckham.
Wow.
And, I'm partying here, networking as well.
Wow. That's amazing. So, what does love mean to you, Mr. Sechi?
Love doesn't mean jack to me.
Oh.
No, hold on.
Okay.
You see, women always jump to conclusions, isn't it?
Messy.
Right.
Okay.
Love doesn't mean jack to me.
Okay.
But love is everything in this life.
Okay.
Without love, we are nothing. There has to be love in your life. That's why I have my beautiful love over there.
But what? How would you, to you, what does she do that you consider as love? That act. For someone, if you buy them flowers, you know, you love me. You know?
Yep.
For someone, love is like the first person said, being kind. You know, so to you, what's that thing you consider as love? Or what's your love language?
Caring.
Caring.
Yeah.
Someone who is caring.
Somebody who is caring. She cares for me and she does everything for me. It's not about cooking, it's not about washing my clothes, but it's just being there and caring.
Mrs. Sechi,
Yes.
what does respect mean to you?
You know what? People say respect has to be something like you don't scream, they scream back at you or whatever it is. But you have to give and you have to receive. So I really don't know. But respect is respect. You respect her, she respects you. Respect him, he respects you.
What does your wife do that will make you say to people that she respects you? For some people, respect means that when they talk, you don't talk back. So for you, what does your wife do that will make you say that my wife respects me?
You know what? There are some words that exist but do not have any meanings to them. The word exists, respect. And people think respect is you talk and they talk back to you. But it's a word that exists but doesn't have true meanings to them. Because my wife is my hero, she does everything. And I will never say that she respects or she doesn't respect me because she never talks back to me.
She doesn't?
No, even though I'm rude most of the time.
She wouldn't say anything?
You see, there's difference between respect and God fearing. Sometimes that person has that feeling or they have that attitude that exhibits itself in every situation.
Okay.
So I might go home like today, I'm with friends, I'm tipsy, I might say something stupid. She will have patience for me. Okay. So like I've always said, respect is a word that exists, but to me it doesn't have any meaning.
Okay.
Because I've never been disrespected by my wife, but my work colleagues do disrespect me sometimes though.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So, how are you married? Yeah, you've been saying your wife, so definitely you're married. How many years?
32 years.
Oh my God.
What more can I ask for?
How have you guys done it? My goodness. How many years?
I tell you something. Anytime my wife asks me, what do you want for your birthday or a Christmas present? I say to her, Benny, give me another year of your life.
Oh.
Because I'm one of the most of men. But at the end of the day, because I've got...
What does that mean?
What I mean is, excuse me, men here. If you find a sensible man in this life, call me.
Really?
Oh, yes.
There isn't one?
I don't think there is one at the moment.
Okay.
Do you know the reason why I'm saying that?
No, you tell me.
Because we have attitudes that women, it's only women that can understand us.
Okay.
So it's very difficult to find a man who is all-rounded, who has all the package. It's in this age, you can't find it.
I think it's the same for women though.
Oh, it is. But that's why I say to my wife, give me another year of your life.
Oh.
If you can, I'll be more than happy than any present you give me.
Okay. So throughout your 33 years of being together, 32 years of being together. Sorry, my bad. What is your most favorite part that one experience that you remember? You're like, you want to have it forever.
The first day, my wife said to me, Edward, anytime we have an argument, in the morning, give me a hug before you go to work.
Oh.
And I always do that, even though I'm an idiot.
So you cause an argument intentionally to get a hug before
Sometimes
you
I
go to
create
work.
arguments because I want to have my way.
Oh my god.
That is a man for you.
Oh my gosh.
So
I'm sure she knows by
yes,
now.
and sometimes when I want to have more hugs, I just create an argument just to have a hug. Oh yes.
Mrs., if you get to listen to this, don't mind him when he brings arguments because you know what he wants. Yeah?
Even this morning I had one.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You have children together?
3 of them.
3 children.
Yes.
Have you ever argued in front of the kids?
Honestly, we have. But if there's a serious argument, she will say to me, Edward, get in the car. And I said, no, Benny, I'm not coming.
Okay.
Because I know what's going to happen in the car.
What?
If we want to swear, if we want to punch, if we want to kiss,
It happens in the car.
It happens in the car.
Right.
Any relationship without an argument is a false relationship. Any man who tells you they have a perfect relationship, they are false. We have our arguments, we have our moments, and I can honestly tell you, even early this morning, we had one. But it wasn't drastic, so we didn't get in the car.
Okay.
If it was, I would have been. Yeah.
He said it. You were not listening?
That is where we don't spare any words. It is like, what the heck did you do there? And I say, Benny, you know what? That means.
So you get outside of the house because you don't want the kids to witness that.
You know, there are times that we do have argument that is just minor.
Yeah, back and forth.
If it is something usually I have done or my bad, she will say, Edward, get in the car, and I say, no, I'm not coming in the car.
So what happens? He drags you? She drags you?
Sometimes she waits for me to get in the car when I'm going to work. And she surprises me. She surprises me, gets in the car and says, hey, you are not moving.
Auntie Benny, well done.
Yes, you have
Well
this argument.
done.
Yeah.
Do you want to give shout outs to your wife?
Shout out to my big wife, my beautiful wife, my hero, my everything. At the end of the day, I've always said, excuse me to say, men are dogs, men are idiots, and I'm number one.
Aww.
But I thank my stars, I thank God for having a beautiful woman like that.
Oh,
There's nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Thank you for coming on Incredible Mabna.
Shout out to Incredible.
So you're welcome to the Incredible Mabna show. What's your name, please?
Lauren.
We can hear you.
Oh, Lauren. Do I have to say my last name?
No, you don't have
Lauren.
to. Okay. So, Lauren, what does love mean to you? What does love mean? What's your love language?
What does love mean to me?
Yeah.
Love is broad. I mean, if you say
but
love,
to you,
to me,
yeah. What are
it's
some
all
of the
about
things?
affection.
Affection, okay.
Affection.
Right.
If you show affection,
Sorry, you need to come this way. Yeah.
if you show affection,
Yeah.
it means love.
So at home, what are some of the things that your husband does that you consider as love?
I mean, not on the. I mean, for me, it's not like it doesn't have to be every day, but usually recognize the day. Birthdays, Valentine's Day, Christmas.
Important
Recognize
dates
it.
in your life.
Recognize it.
Yeah.
Buy me a gift.
Okay.
I love that. I love
Okay.
that way.
That's your love language.
Yes.
Lovely. What does respect mean to you in marriage? Respect in marriage.
Respect marriage. Respect is the base for every marriage. Respect it should be 100%.
What is respect to you? What are some of the things that your husband should do or not do because they respect you?
Well, if you love me enough and you respect me enough, I should be enough. No cheating. For me, that is respect. Secondly, taking care of the home. Recognizing that I also came from work. I'm tired. Okay, honey, I got it. That's something that he used to do, as a matter of fact. He used to do. It was just me and him. And he will still say, oh, because you cooked, you came from work and you cooked.
Yeah.
Leave the dishes for me.
Yeah.
That was love. That was respect.
That's respect. That's love. Yeah. That's your love language.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So it should be something going on, not one-time thing. Not you do it and you stop. 'Cause it's an everyday life. So
I know.
Every day we go through it.
Yeah. So, you're married, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because she said your husband. What's that one thing throughout your years of marriage that you hold so dear? What's the one thing?
One thing that I hold so dear is not thinking that I was gonna have like a big marriage ceremony.
You were not thinking it. You didn't
wasn't-
want. You didn't want that.
Not that I didn't want
You're
it.
going out of the
Not that I
coma.
didn't want it. But I didn't know that he also, it was something that he also wanted.
Okay.
You know, like we both been away from home.
Yeah.
And where he's coming from, I just thought that maybe the traditional one was what he probably was gonna do. But for me to think that the man was gonna go all out
Oh.
and be a groomzilla,
Grisella, yeah. He went all out. It was a huge wedding, and you loved it.
Yes.
Yeah. He went all out for you.
went all out.
Lovely.
yeah.
Would you ever argue in front of your children?
No, for me, no. But you know, it depends on the circumstances and the person you were dealing with. He doesn't know when to stop. Honestly.
Sometimes,
Sometimes.
you're telling them, look, the children are around. Can we do
You're
this
doing
later?
that, yeah. You rolling
and they
your
keep
eyes,
going.
You do the eye, you know, you do the sign
Yeah.
language.
Still, they keep
And
going.
still-
Yeah. But if you have your way, or if you had your way,
If it was my way,
yeah,
no, I
not
would
in front
not.
of the children.
Nah.
Okay. There are people who are married to some people. I heard you say earlier on that cheating is a no-no.
Yeah.
You know, and we come from a place where sometimes, I said this earlier, it's a man's world.
Disgusting.
They expect you to take it as normal because, like, he did what? Every man cheats.
Yes.
You hear that. You've heard that before. Is that a deal breaker for you?
No,
It's not a deal breaker.
No.
If it happens.
no.
Okay.
For me, every man does it does not mean that it is okay. It is still not okay.
Yeah.
Where we come from, and I always say it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't know what they think. I don't know what they're doing, but the man sees it as normal, and it should not be. It's not acceptable.
Yeah.
It should not be. We should not accept.
That's right.
We women, Ghanaian women, and I'll say Ghanaian women because I come from Ghana, and I will not say Africa in general.
Because you don't know about
I
other
don't know
African
about-
women, yeah.
For what I know, Ghana, we women should not accept cheating as normal. If it happens, maybe we will go past it, but we should not think that it
It's
is
normal.
okay.
We shouldn't normalize it.
We should not share. We should not share our bodies with other people whilst we are married. That's what I think.
You mean
If I had my way,
the man as well?
the
or
man
just
as
the
well.
woman? Okay.
No,
All right.
both.
Both, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
If there's anyone getting ready to get married, you're going out, you keep going out of the curve. If there's anyone out there watching this who is getting ready to get married, what advice do you have for them?
Slow down.
But you're enjoying. No,
No,
to enjoy
I mean,
too.
no, it's enjoyable. It's challenges. Let me tell you, it's not easy. I read somewhere that the person said marriage is not for the faint heart. It is really not.
I agree.
You have to be tough in marriage. If you don't take care, we women sometimes tend to be very masculine because we're not getting our way. It's not going the way it's supposed to go. So take your time. Marriage is beautiful. It's every woman should experience it. It is beautiful. It depends on who you're getting married to. Take your time, set your boundaries, know what you want, go for it. From the word go, just set your boundaries. Let the man know this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I want you to be, and go from there. Don't be scared. And most of the time I think that we're scared, especially Ghanaian women, to set that kind of
We're not
boundaries.
brought up to express ourselves. You know, when you're too expressive,
And we're not brought up-
they call you Mpeninsem.
Yeah.
You're
You are
that.
hardcore.
You're that.
It's feminine thing.
Yeah.
Setting boundaries is a feminine thing. I don't want this. I don't like what you're going to do. I don't. From the
can't
word
take
go.
this, yeah.
From the word go.
That's right.
But besides that, it's a beautiful thing. You should get to know who you're getting married, and you should have those boundaries from the word go, starting from day one. Let the person know this is what I expect. This is what I want. Take it easy. Slow, steady the person, because It's not an easy journey. I can be that honest. It's not.
All these years, what have you been doing to keep your marriage spicy? Or keep it going?
Patience.
Yeah?
You have to be patient.
You need that.
You need that patience.
And a lot of forgiveness.
I wouldn't say forgiveness.
It's more
Forgiveness
patience.
is you forgiving yourself, because it's a lot of things that it doesn't matter if the person was. It could be a pastor. They are still the same. So, you woman, if you are patient, that is where the love comes in. You have to be. And I always say, stay in your feminine body.
Okay.
I like being feminine. I like seeing women being feminine.
What do you mean by that?
Being feminine, just like you said, you turbulate a lot. You should not be turbulating a lot. But then it's not for you to fix problems. We women have to receive. So even if it's hard, let him do what he's doing. Let him be, but still stay in your feminine body and wait to receive.
Okay.
Wait for him to give you the love. Don't
Force
rush
it.
to
Don't
fix
push it. All right.
Don't push it. Don't
Okay.
try to fix issues.
Okay.
Wait for the man who is the head of the family, who God has designated to be the head of the family, to solve the issues.
Okay.
So that's what I have been trying to do after so many years.
You've really done well. 10 years is not a joke. Well done.
12 years.
12?
August
Oh,
7th.
wow. Well done. Well done. Do you want to give shout outs to your husband?
Hi, honey. Don't listen to this. If you ever come across it, pass by. Okay?
Don't keep it for
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Edna.
Thank you.
My name is Ben Hayford.
Ben Hayford?
Yes,
And
and I'm
today?
with Incredible Mabna today.
Yo. Who is this? My goodness. Listen, the Asian. I don't know. Okay, so you're married?
Yes.
For how long? How many years?
About 20 years.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not.
Wow. Kudos to you, because listen, if you've been married for even a year, you know what that means.
Yes.
So
So the 20 years, there's a non-scoring bit. This is the scoring one.
what do
that
you
we've
mean?
counted.
What does that even mean?
Before marriage and then marriage.
Oh, okay.
So the marriage itself is 20 years.
Your wife is not smiling, but we're not looking at her face. Right.
You know, so the ones before the marriage, you don't count that. So,
Okay. So
say how long have we been married? That's about 20 years.
so out of those 20 years,
Yes.
what's your most memorable bit? You would say you remember that time every time you go like, she's
Meeting my wife. Meeting my wife is one of them. And having my children.
having your children.
That's right.
Right. Okay. I love that. Ben,
Yes.
what does love mean to you? If someone says they love you, what do you expect from them? Oh my God. I don't think I'm just going to post it raw. Honestly. I'm not even going to post it.
It means they want to have sex with
Ben,
you.
you're not helping. I don't think I'm going to finish this video. You're not done. You're not running away. Let me do someone else. No.
Sexy.
Ben Hayford, what does love mean to you?
Love is caring.
Love means someone
Love-
is caring. Okay.
That's it. Love is kindness.
Okay. Okay. So as a man, because I know that respect means a lot to African men. I don't know if it's all men, but African men and respect is like 5 and 6. What does respect mean to you?
I don't think that's the right thing to say that African men, everybody needs respect.
Okay.
Everybody deserves respect.
Okay.
You know,
But you know, some people drum it in more. Like, it's like, you don't respect me. Oh, what, if you respected me, you wouldn't have done that. So what does respect mean to you?
well, I mean, for me personally, it's, I don't know what you mean by you don't respect me, because what I expect from you is what I would give. So if you
So if you expect I don't want to say me, but I'm talking in terms of love, yeah?
Yes.
So if you're with your partner and you want to say that, oh, she respects me, I get a lot of respect for, oh, she doesn't respect me. What do you mean?
Right. Some people think if you tell a woman,
You.
yes, I'm coming. I want to move it that way.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
most men think that whatever they say is right.
Yeah.
So if they say anything to their partners and they try to come up with an opinion, they think that being disrespected.
Yeah.
You know, so if you respect somebody, you respect their opinion.
That's right.
You listen to them,
Okay.
and whatever they say should also matter, not just what you say. So for me, I respect everybody
Okay.
much the same way as I want people to respect me.
Okay. Marriage.
Yes.
If there's anyone listening who is not married yet, what are like, say, 2 or 3 attributes you think they should work on before getting married? Or like, for some people, it's like, I'm not going to give you cues. I want you to say, if there's anyone preparing to get married, already married and frustrated, what's the one advice or 2, 3 advice you want to give them?
Well, marriage is not easy. It's not going to be easy. There's ups and downs. So you should be prepared for the ups and the downs. Much as you enjoy the highs, you have to be there and
For the
then
lows.
for the lows. You know, if you're in for the long haul, then you have to make compromises. It shouldn't always be on your terms. You should consider the other person's opinion all the time. You know, and if possible, you should be prepared to say sorry when you make a mistake. Even if you think it's not you.
For peace of mind.
Peace of mind. Yes.
For peace in the home.
Yeah.
The wife is spoiling my video, but we are not minding her.
Don't worry about the external pressures.
External pressure.
Don't worry about the external pressures. Let's get on with it.
Uncle Ben.
Yes.
You know that thing you hate about for saying sorry,
Yeah.
even when you're not wrong.
Sorry seems
Ego.
to be the
Ego.
hardest thing.
That's all I have to say. You can't be married and have an ego, especially all the time. You'll be right sometimes. You'll be at fault sometimes. So yeah, definitely I agree. House chores.
House chores. I haven't got any problem with that.
What do you mean if you say you don't have any
House
problems with that?
chores.
Yeah. You know, there are some households where these are male duties and these are women duties.
Not in my house.
Right. Oh, but I feel.
We are talking.
My goodness.
We are in my house. There's nothing like men's chores and women's chores.
Okay.
When I see anything that I have to do, I do it. Cooking, I do cook sometimes.
Do you?
Yes. When I'm at home and my wife is at work, I make sure I cook before she comes.
And
she
it's
can have
normal?
some- Oh yeah, she's there. You can ask her.
Okay.
You know, though she does the cooking most of the time, but sometimes I try to also
Do your best.
something.
Yeah.
Even if she's there, I thought today let me also cook for the whole house to eat.
Yeah.
So I haven't got a problem with cooking. I haven't got a problem with doing the house chores because, I mean, like I said, it's a partnership. You know, it shouldn't be just one person doing everything in the house. I mean, we, like you said at the beginning, typical Africans think the woman has to do all this and the man shouldn't do anything in the house. The man should just sit down, watch telly and all that. It doesn't work with me. You know, I like to do things around the house. When I see something, clean kitchen, I clean the kitchen, I wash the dishes. You know, I do everything that.
And
my
it
wife
doesn't
would do.
devalue you as a man.
At all, it doesn't change anything.
If anything, it scores you points.
Which points? Points
Wow.
for what? Who's going to score that point?
I don't know.
I do it for myself and I do it for the
No,
household.
if anything, it scores you points in the sense that your
Maybe
wife.
my wife might say, "Oh, today you've done well, so today I'll give you
You
one."
know what I mean?
Then I'll probably say, "Okay, make it 2."
You know.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, if you're talking about if you're talking about that point, I don't do it for points, but when the points comes, I'll
You
take them.
collect it. You know. Why not?
I do it for myself. I don't. Like I said to you, I don't do it for points. You know, I don't do it in expectation. But when I come and I have to do something, I do it. I don't have to wait for her.
No.
Like I said, in my house, there's nothing like this is woman's
Gender
chores.
role.
No. I believe marriage is a partnership.
It is indeed.
You know.
My last question to you.
Okay.
You have children?
2 boys.
Wow. And I've heard people say that, oh, don't fight in front of the children. They shouldn't see you fighting. But then there's another school of thought thinking you're presenting marriage, a false marriage to your children. In the sense that they're thinking, I never saw my parents fighting, so I shouldn't say it. Not fighting in the sense of like arguments, you know, because if you fight violently in front of the kids, definitely it has its own effects on the children. I have a video on that if you haven't watched it. Adverse childhood experiences, that's not good. But like, no more arguments. If you're having a misunderstanding and the children are around, what would you do?
I don't remember the last time I had an argument with my wife, seriously. We haven't been to that situation where we are having a fight. Yes, there are times we have a misunderstanding and all that.
It's all Cold War,
you know, but we don't. Yeah, we've had a Cold War where she doesn't want you to come near her, but sometimes you have to go. You know, sometimes you need to touch, and they say no, don't touch, because there's issues. But we haven't had. There's never been a case where we fighting and at each other's throat. No, and seriously, I don't remember the last time we even had an argument or anything, let alone, and well, maybe we might have had an argument where the boys were around.
It's something you don't let the boys see.
We don't do it, so I don't think it's something that we would hide from the boys. If we have to do it, we'll do it. If the boys are there, so be it. But you know, so we don't go our way trying to hide the boys before we continue the argument. If we have to do it, we do it.
All right.
You know, but we hardly argue. I can't remember the last time, you know. Yeah, but that's it. You know.
Someone once said to me that if you want a happy home, you have to say yes a lot to your wife. Is it true?
It depends. It depends on what you mean. What I have to say yes, because
if it's something that's gonna damage your home, you're not going to say yes, obviously.
I don't remember her saying something that I have to say yes just to keep the house happy. I don't know, because I think I have a happy house and I have a good wife.
Oh wow!
And a very
that's a
you know, so I don't need to do anything artificial to keep the house happy. You know? So anything. Whatever happens. If we have to argue, we argue.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And she's here. If you want to interview her.
No, she doesn't want to face the camera.
Yeah. So. You know. So that's about it. I don't.
Wow.
There's no pretense in my house.
No. Thank you so much, Uncle Ben Hayford.
You're welcome.
You're amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for blowing your wife kisses on incredible Magna.
Wow!
I'm telling you.
I haven't said that. Let's go back.
When you say you love it,
Uncle Ben Hayford is back.
Yes.
He wants to give shout outs to his wife so that he can get points tonight.
Yeah. Well, the points I'll take, but this is not for the points. If it's going to give me more points,
why not?
I'll say more for more points.
Okay, give your wife shout outs, Uncle Ben.
This is just to say, I love you so much, Mrs. Sarah Kowa Hayford. You're a wonderful woman. You're amazing.
wow!
Yeah?
So this is incredible, Mabna. Thanks for coming. Do you want to introduce yourself to my friends?
Yes, thank you for having me. My name is Nicole Asian Amankanora from New York.
That's right. We can tell from the accent, isn't it? Yeah. So, as a woman, what do you consider as love? To you, what's your love language? What is love to you?
My love language is actions. I like the little things with help around the house. Washing the dishes is nice. Putting the kids to bed. starting the laundry or doing the laundry, making breakfast.
We have things in common. That's my love language too.
Yes, yes, yes. That's very important to me.
That's right. As a woman, what do you consider as respect in marriage? Respect in a relationship?
My philosophy is respect goes both ways.
That's right.
I do not believe in disrespecting a man or a woman. I think respect in the marriage is important. I think the way we speak to each other is a form of respect. I think actions show respect. And for any marriage to be successful, we have to have that kind of respect in a marriage.
I agree with you. That's just me there. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're married, I'm sure?
I am.
Right. And you have kids?
2 kids.
Lovely. Would you ever argue in front of the kids? Like, sometimes you can help it. It starts, and then you see them around. What do you do?
Stop it.
You
Stop
can?
it. Yes.
For the sake of the kids?
Exactly.
You don't want to traumatize
never.
them.
I don't think the kids should be exposed to that kind of environment.
That's right.
I think whatever arguments you have in front of the kids is not appropriate. I think you need to take it to the bedroom, very low tone, which is almost impossible when you're extremely angry. But I think even putting the music on while you have your argument, it's important because the kids will be traumatized by it.
That's right.
My parents were married for almost 50 years before my dad passed. And we always say that we never saw them argue. Not in front of us. I'm sure they had the arguments, but it was never in front of us. And I try to make my marriage just like my parents.
Wow.
No argument. Yeah.
Thank you for saying this, because there's another school of thought that says that not arguing in front of the kids is trying to create a false impression. You're trying to tell them that like your marriage is perfect and it should be so, but marriage cannot be perfect.
No. You can have a conversation in front of the kids, but at any point when somebody's going to raise their voice, then it's an argument. It's different from having a conversation or a disagreement. We have disagreements. We have a conversation. I do not agree with you, babe. I agree with you. Well, you didn't do it the right way, or you didn't do it. That's a disagreement. Mm-hmm. When it starts with when somebody's going to be angry, where voices are going to be raised, then I don't think it should happen in front of the children.
I agree with you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Just a few more couple of questions and I'm done. So, throughout your marriage, you've been married for how many years?
10 years, almost 10 years.
Wow, well done, because well done. Throughout your 10 years, what's your most that moment that you always recollect? You always want to have that picture in your head. You're so excited about that one moment that you'd always want to have it.
I think when I was walking down the aisle and I saw my husband's face.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Thank you so much for coming on the Incredible Mabna Show. What will be your last words to any couple who are having a tough time right now, or anybody getting ready to get married?
So I'm still learning because it's a journey, right? 10 years is really young in marriage.
It's not.
I think it is. There are people who've been married forever.
I know.
But 10 years is young. But I think for what I realize now with marriage now is we spend a lot of time on the wedding and not the marriage.
You plan the wedding.
They plan in the wedding. And then after you realize that the wedding is over and the festivities are over, then now you have to deal with the marriage.
That's right.
So I think we have to devote more time into getting to work on our marriage and not the wedding. The wedding is a ceremony for a day. Marriage is a lifetime commitment. You have to know your partner.
That's right.
You have to know who you're marrying. I think marriage counseling before marriage, in the marriage, it's important.
I agree.
It keeps, the couples going. I also believe in keeping things fresh and childish.
Hey, how do you do that? Because I need tips.
You still date?
Right?
I've been away from my husband now for 7 days, 8 days.
Yeah.
And this is like, everybody was like, how many times are you guys talking? Like we're video calling each other all the time. It's like children. I text him at work. I can't wait for him to call me.
Yeah.
I look forward to his phone calls.
Yeah.
His voice.
Oh, Oh,
You
that's
just keep
lovely.
it like you're still dating, and it keeps it fresh because it's a lot of work.
Recently, a friend confided in me, and she was saying that her husband, when he's not happy or when there's an argument, can insult you so much you feel like, you know. Do you have any word of advice as a woman? Because women are different from men, like in so many ways. For men, maybe if they are being insulted by their fellow men, they don't care. It's nothing. But for a woman, once you insult them, it takes a big chunk of their love away. Do you?
Huge.
Anything you can say to men who insult their partners when they're upset?
No, never. Walk away. I always say that. Take a walk. It should be something you guys always agree on. Babe, when we are having an argument and I get really upset, I don't want to say any of those mean things. I'm going to walk away. Have that, always talk about these issues. Walk away for 5 minutes. Take a walk around the neighborhood. By the time you come back, maybe you have cooled down a bit, and that insult will not happen.
Yeah, you can have a normal
Adult conversation. And also, I always believe in addressing the issue.
That's right.
After the walk, you still have to
Talk about it. Yeah.
The only reason why we are walking is so we can cool down a bit.
Can come down. Yeah.
So I always believe in having that conversation. When he comes back, talk to him. Talk to him.
I think people should also know their triggers.
The triggers.
Yeah. If you think these are things she does that triggers me, that makes me do this, if she starts, I'm just gonna go out of that door and come back.
Yeah.
And let that person know these things do trigger me.
Yes. Yes. And also the low blow.
What's that?
Low blow. Oh well, it's a low blow comment.
Okay.
So you
Oh,
know
it's a low
something.
blow,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay.
you know it's gonna hurt your husband or your wife, and that's the comment you're going to make.
That's right.
But then at the end of the day, it's still your wife or your husband. You stay married. It really hurts, and those things take a
Nothing's
while.
gonna.
Takes a
Sometimes you can never forget it.
It's always at the back of your mind because he said something to
Yeah.
you. So you always gonna have to. It's always gonna be there. The triggers are there.
Yeah.
But then you can't hit below the belt.
No.
You can't do it. Yeah.
You're a team.
Yeah.
If there's any problem at all, you need to address the problem, not insult the person. Yeah.
Yeah, so we are adults, so we're gonna have to find ways to work out our issues. It's
That's
more childish when you call names. That's what teenagers do.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
what teenagers do.
Thank you.
We are
You wanna
grown.
give shout outs to your Mr.
Benjamin, a manquanora. I love you. I miss you, and I can't wait to see you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Incredible Mabla.
Yay, keep it locked.
So guys, today on Incredible Mabna, it's a Tessie takeover.
Am I recording? I don't think so.
We are having a barbecue. You know, family is important.
Welcome to Incredible Madna. Hi. So that's my YouTube page. These are my little sisters. You are?
I'm Tessie.
I'm Becky. I just want to know what you guys think. I wasn't born here. You were. So I just want to know a few things because I've got children in this country and I want to understand a few things. What are some of the pressures that you guys go through?
Precious.
Are there no pressures?
Well, like societal pressures.
Yeah.
I think, first of all, social media is a really big pressure. So you want to look nice all the time, kind of present yourself in a way that's like, you know, nice and that.
You want to, like, all of the things you see on social media, it's like
You
want
wanna
to
be like
you
that.
want to be like them
Yeah.
as well, 'cause especially if you're a Christian person, you want to, sometimes there's that temptation to be like what everyone else looks like, be like what the world looks like, do what they do, but you know, one of the ways to have that is surround yourself with people who are very like-minded and who are like you, because it actually helps you to be very confident.
Yeah, so as Becky was saying, especially when you're Christians, very difficult sometimes to not try and be like everybody else. Because of course we are peculiar people, but then it's like you're surrounded by everybody who is definitely not like that.
Do you get mocked for living a certain life, not following the norm?
I guess so, but also I feel like I don't really experience it because I have a lot of friends who are
Christian
very
friends.
like me.
Yeah.
But definitely when I was in uni, it was like a little bit not problematic, but it was definitely like, oh really, you don't do this?
You don't.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, you just have to get on with it at the end of the day. You have to be confident in who you are and what you believe in, what you like and what you don't like, and your own personal like boundaries. Otherwise, that's how you just succumb to just being like what everyone else wants you to be, and then you kind of lose what you want to be. I don't know. I like to think that I'm very confident in who I am and what I like to do. And
How did you get so confident?
first of all, my dad always told me that I was a princess. So I thoroughly believe it.
That's nice.
You just have to actually think that you're cool, and then you realize that everybody else just gets like they just get on board with your vibe. You don't have to be like everybody else. I think that a lot of my friends will say that I'm very me, and I can only be me.
Yeah.
And I like that is something that is like my brand, and that there's not somebody else like me. And I think that one thing that I was taught quite recently is that there's only one you, so no one else in the world
Can
can
be
be
like
created
you.
like you.
That's
And the
right.
thing that you have to offer is only you that can offer it. So if you're like somebody else, then God just gets a bad version of someone else. And
Her
that
friends
person-
are behind the camera teasing her. So what are you doing?
this
We're
one's
recording.
a photographer, so she likes the camera.
We're recording.
But yeah, so if you're not like yourself, then God just gets a bad version of whoever you're trying to be like.
Are you
as
guys
well
going?
As
Are you going?
They are.
Okay.
But when you're just like you, then you get the best of who you are. So everybody, be you.
Your voices are coming in a video, especially. Okay. One more thing I want to know from you. Being brought up African, I asked your brother earlier on, and I know you have white friends. Do you see
couple.
any differences? And do you do?
Yeah.
Okay, what are the
100%.
differences?
I think in general, culture, my parents' culture, my culture, has very big influence on how I've been brought up. And obviously, like, European or British culture has very big influence on how my friends grew up. So things like what I grew up being allowed to do and what was not necessarily acceptable in my house was very different.
Yeah.
And the expectations of me as well are very, very, not very different, but like, I was always expected to cook and clean and stuff like that. And when I went to uni especially, I noticed that a lot of people were not held to that standard, so they couldn't.
It came in
do
handy, didn't it?
It came in handy. When I was growing up, it's not like it was my
You didn't
favorite
like
thing.
it, yeah?
But people you don't realize that it's beneficial. Not to say that obviously not, like other cultures not emphasizing that is also not in its own way beneficial, because they do get like a lot of time to just be kids. But I think it was good. I think also the fact that I had a lot of influence from culture made a very big impression on what I value as well. So like, I'm very family orientated and stuff, and I think that sometimes some other cultures allow for a lot of individualism.
Okay. One more thing I want to ask you. What was the best part of your upbringing? What would you say? That one thing your
that's a
parents,
really hard
that one
question.
thing your parents did that you loved. It's been part of you from childhood till now.
I think definitely the family thing.
Being family oriented,
Yeah,
the togetherness.
Trying to be together and stuff like that. Like, not even in just the extended family sense, because that's really good as well, but in general, like encouraging me and my brothers to be close. And encouraging us to kind of talk to our parents and stuff like that. I think that my parents were very good at communicating with us, which is not always the case. Like, you can kind of get like stereotypes of like African parents. They don't want to hear what you have to say. My parents were not like that at all.
They always listen to you, and that's a big part of you.
Yeah, so
Lovely.
I think it made me develop like a lot of communication skills. So I've always been told that I'm quite good at expressing myself.
But you think it's coming from home? Is the
Yes.
way you were brought up?
Yes.
What's that one thing or a part of a lot of African children's upbringing that you think we should change as parents? You are not a parent yet, so
Okay,
from a
so,
child's
like,
perspective,
right.
what you've seen a lot of African parents do in bringing up their children and what you think we should do differently. It affects you as children. Not necessarily your parents, but you have African parents. You go to your friend's house.
I think that sometimes maybe try and understand where we're coming from, because we don't live in Africa. We weren't born there. We don't do the same things, and also we're not from your generation. I think that sometimes it can be a little bit hard to communicate with people who don't understand your experience or don't try to understand your experience, whilst also being biased from your experience. And in general, that is a problem anyway, because, for example, I can't understand like my little brother's experience of what he's going through
because he's a different generation.
Yeah, exactly, and he's a lot younger than me. But in the same way, like, I know that it's not everything that my dad's generation will get from what I'm saying, but sometimes when you don't try and understand, it just leads to clashes. And I think that's why a lot of people my age feel like they can't talk to their parents, or like their parents don't know them, because they can't they can't get over that barrier.
If you have any advice for any African parent out there, what would they be? Any at all?
I'm not a parent though.
No, you're not. But from a child's perspective, you've been to. I know you have a lot of church friends, and you go to each other's parents' house, and you see how everyone is being treated, how everyone's home is. What is that one common thing you see in a lot of homes that you think, if these parents can do this, I think, no. As a child watching on, I think this will be better.
I think communication. I think that if you are genuinely interested in like your child's life, and everyone is, but like not, if they do something wrong, they're not going to immediately receive like a lecture, or like they're gonna be in super amount of trouble, then you learn a lot more about your kids. Because we won't be as scared to tell you guys things. And
how you feel, genuinely.
Be an open environment. And take mental health seriously. And also
a lot of you guys say you're depressed, you're stressed, you're anxious. We don't understand where we're coming from.
But the thing is, you can learn a lot about it. I had a really, really hard time in sixth form, like a really, really, really hard time. And I know that my parents really went out their way to kind of try and understand how I was feeling and what I was going through. And it helped a lot to have people at home to talk to, because sometimes you don't want to talk to your teacher or like the people in school, because they don't also understand the cultural stuff that influences it, or the pressure from home and everything. But my parents were amazing, and they still are, about dealing with like, how's your mental health? Like, how are you doing? Why do you feel like this? What's going on? Like that. And mental health is really serious. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people just say, yes, pray, but there's more that you can do. There's more than you could do. Like,
so what are some of the steps? Help us.
Talking definitely helps.
Yeah.
Kind of figuring out what is going on, like the pressures that you are facing, and like what is triggering it. I don't really like using that word, but what's a
trigger? Yeah.
And also taking time to educate yourself on what mental health conditions are. Because it's not everyone that's like depressed. Maybe you just have a really extreme form of anxiety, or maybe you're actually just really, really overwhelmed, or like you're just having an emotional breakdown.
You've always been, your dad is talking so much, it's going to overshadow what you're saying, because sometimes your voice is low, but I don't know. You've always been a church girl.
I have.
Your parents have always taken you to church, whether you like it or not.
Yes.
When they're going, they're just dragging you along. Has that helped you?
Yeah. Sometimes
you're not too convinced.
No, it has, because I think it instilled a lot of values in me, And now it's weird for me to like, oh yeah, I'm not going to church this Sunday because I've always gone to church this Sunday. Like in my house, it's not allowed. Why are you not going to church this Sunday?
You can't stay at home.
It doesn't make any sense. Even now that me and my brother don't go to the same church as my parents, if we're not going to church, it's very, very strange. Like, it's not, like, we have to be on holiday. That doesn't make...
But I know people who have also said that they're British just like you. And they will say, oh, I was dragged into church against my will. And because of that, I resent church.
And I think that's fair. I think a lot of people kind of feel like that. But I think also it depends on the environment as well. Like, and I was very blessed to be in a church that kind of involved me, gave me a lot of opportunities. My church was very communal, so a lot of the people in church just became like extended family members, like, and see right here. So it's like I was just in my, like, it's just going to hang out with my family, and a lot of my friends, my best friend was in my church. She still is now. My brothers, I go to church with them as well. I was very, very close with all the people there. So as much as it was church, it was very social for me anyway, and I'm a very social person. So that was really, really good and kept me there and made me see it as a good thing. And obviously I was learning a lot at the same time, and our church was very, it pushed a lot on the youth, like go to church camps, learn this, blah, blah, blah. So it's like you're always doing something. So then when I went to uni, it was like, it's just natural, like, okay, I need to go to church on Sunday, what am I going to do? And then I just end up in my church, and by the grace of God, lots of opportunities, and I'm still there, and I have a lot of new friends and a lot of new opportunities, and it's keeping me sane.
Well done, we're very proud of you.
Thanks.
She is going to be a doctor.
It will take him 4 years, yeah.
I am so proud of you, baby girl.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
No problem, anytime. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Bye guys.
She just lost the video.
Yeah guys, so as you all know, I'm here today with Rebecca.
Don't call me that.
Sorry.
What should she call you? Oh my god. Are you okay?
I'm good, thank you. How are
So
you?
this is I'm fine, thank you. This is incredible, Mab. So, what does love mean to you?
Love, to me, means like putting someone before yourself and caring about them unconditionally.
Wow.
I've been asked a question, I have to answer it.
What does respect mean to you as a man in a relationship?
I mean, as someone who's never been in a relationship before,
You've never been in a relationship?
I've not, no.
Oh, okay.
But like, it just should, like, just kind of, I don't know, because the best word to use is respect. But like,
What does it mean to you? Even amongst your friends, your siblings, what does respect mean to you?
I guess showing like a bit of regard for people and understanding their viewpoints and understanding kind of who they are.
Okay. So you've seen your parents married for so many years, I'm sure, since you could see. What's that one thing about them that you wish you would have in your own relationship? What do you admire about their relationship?
I think I admire the fact that it never looks like boring or like a chore. Like, it always looks like they're enjoying themselves, and like the love never seems to die. So I really look to have that in my future.
Yeah, lovely. Being Ghanaian British, how does it feel being African and then British? Where do you draw the line? Where do you think, do you feel belong? Do you sort of get in between? Sometimes you're not too sure where you are. Do you get that?
Yeah, no, I feel like it's good to have like the best of like both worlds, but it's important to like kind of like remember where you come from and like how you've been brought up, because I've been brought up by Ghanaian parents. It's important to remember that, but also kind of like enjoy the kind of environment that I'm in, and obviously respect the culture of both being Ghanaian and being British as well. So
you see your white peers and your upbringing. Do you think there is something, any advice you got for Ghanaian parents that are like, okay, I see these people being treated this way. I'm not saying your parents, but generally, because you have African friends and you have British friends. I have very young kids, and I don't know how you guys feel, and the sort of thoughts that goes through your mind. So sometimes I do think about that. Like, is there some word of advice for African parents or immigrant parents that you think, oh, I see these people being treated like this being done for them. I wish our parents do the same for us. Not your parents per se.
I just think maybe it'll be important to kind of, obviously it'll be good to be brought up in like a house like discipline, and just from my point of view, I don't think the way African people are disciplined should kind of like stop. And I know that a lot of like my white peers and like my friends that have been raised here, brought up here by like English parents, they kind of let that side go, and
There's not a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it does like affect the kids
the way
they handle things.
Okay.
So I think the way African parents like deal with stuff like that, I think it's good, and I think it
built your resilience.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it should continue. So
all right,
just keep doing that, really.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.